girlies, it's Rachel from Heal Thy Homegirl, and today we are going to talk about 3 ways that you can absolutely level your life up. Now, guess what, ladies? There are a multitude of ways you can level your life up. I've done so many things during the journey of leveling my life up, becoming a totally new woman, changing my entire life, right? But today I just want to discuss 3 of them. So as always, I'm going to jump right into it because we have healing work to do. We don't have time to waste, right? We're on a journey to our better selves. So number 1, ladies, learn a new language or a new activity. So one thing that you definitely are going to level up from is learning something new. Think about it. If we're going to a new level, there's newness there. So if I'm learning something new, then I'm leveling up in that area of my life. So for me, ladies, I recently just started taking Spanish classes. I have a Spanish tutor, and it's something that I've been wanting to do since I got on this journey. And I'm like, you know what? Let me just spread my wings. That's not the type of stuff I was worrying about before. She was a little ratchet. She was just worrying about going to the hole in the wall spots, a little $2 crib night, going and getting my drinks and all of that, right? And then coming home and, just going out to the same happy hours in clubs and lounges and bars. But during my healing journey, you all, I have literally leveled my life up, and one of the ways is by trying something new. So like I said, I've recently started taking Spanish lessons, but I've done a lot of new activities as well. So it's really good that we do activities, you all, because it gives us a space to be creative, right? To do something that's new, and then you're creating this newness in your life. So think about something that maybe you used to do as a child. That would be really good. If you think about something that you used to do as a child that you absolutely loved and you have not done it in forever, sis, I am telling you, when you go back to do that activity, it is going to bring so much nostalgia, honey. It is going to feel so good. Or think about, for me, you all, I used to love dancing when I was little. Do y'all remember the box where you order videos? I used to watch the box, and I used to always think, I want to be a background dancer, you all. And I had to work through a lot with my mom, a lot of forgiveness. And one of the things I had to work on was the fact that I wanted to get in dance so bad, and I did not get into dance. We grew up in a Catholic church, and they had liturgical dance. And I remember she put me in there for a week. It only lasted for a week, and we didn't really even do anything. But I wanted to be in dance, and my friends would be in marching band, and they would be in dance classes, and I never was put in dance class. And y'all, that really broke my heart. That sat with me for a minute. So one thing I did a few years ago is I started taking this dance class. And it's a little sexy dance class, and they teach you different dances, choreograph a whole dance. That's one thing. Another thing is I would do this dance to fitness. So they have Zumba, but I didn't want to do Zumba because to me, Zumba was just so, I don't know. I just really wasn't feeling it. But I would go to this dance to fitness class where she would literally choreograph an entire song off of the latest hip hop, R&B, pop music, y'all. And I really used to be in there getting my little racial dreams out. Sis, I'm not a background dancer, but she's a dancer, okay? She's dancing. And also I was getting a workout in because it was a workout class. And then we just in there dancing, and I had to remember the move. So in my mind, I was thinking wow, I got to remember this choreography because I got to go on stage, right? Although that's not what I was doing, it just brought me so much life to do that. And it's funny because with COVID happening, and during COVID, that is when I went deeper into my healing, and I had an awakening, and I really was just in hermit mode, in a lot of isolation, because that's what I had to do in order for me to just grow, change. I was just being called to go back into isolation. Recently I was thinking about how I used to do that type of stuff. I used to go to the dance to fitness class, and I was thinking I want to start doing that type of stuff again. And it's now that I'm back out, I need to do some of the activities that I used to do because it used to bring me so much happiness to dance, right? So I would really say, think about some of the things that you used to love to do, or just think about some of the stuff that you love to do. Now, ladies, listen to me, hear me out. You are going on a journey of self-discovery. So that means that you may not have anybody that wants to do these activities with you. I went to all of those dance classes by myself. Nobody around me wanted to do the dance classes, but that did not stop me from going, right? So on your journey of self-discovery, know that You're probably going to have to go out and do these activities on your own, but that is good, you all, because that means you get a chance to be by yourself. And for so many of us, we only feel safe when we have people around, but that is not really safety. That is an illusion, because first off, nobody can protect you from yourself, right? Nobody is in charge of you. Anybody can just run out and leave you, but because you're being codependent on other people, you're giving yourself the illusion that they are keeping you safe, when the safest place to be is being able to be comfortable with yourself, right? So I remember another thing that I did. This was before COVID too, but I was on my journey. This was about 2018. I was like, you know what? Me and my friends were always like, we were still going to bars, we were still drinking, and I just wanted to do something different. So I remember going on Groupon, and I was like, I'm going to find me an activity to do. You know, Groupon got so many activities. And I was like, I'm going to go by myself. It gave me a chance to do an activity that I wasn't doing before, but it also gave me a chance to go by myself and be by myself. And I've always had like a friend group. It's always been that way ever since I was probably like in the 6th grade, right? So it just gave me a chance to get away from that dynamic and start to veer out on my own, which is what I was being drawn to do anyway. Like, this was literally like an out-of-body experience, this whole thing for me. All of a sudden, I'm like, I want to go and do something else, right? So I go in there and I do like a sip and paint. And it was nice. It was a lot of women there, and I was there by myself. Everybody else had their groups. I was sitting at a table where like all the girls knew each other, and I was just sitting there by myself. I was talking to people, but I was out there doing an activity on my own. So know that you might have to go out on your own to do some activities, and that's okay. But find some new activities that you can do, because guess what? If you're doing something new, that's taking you to another level, that's opening your mindset up, not just to doing new things, not just to learn new things, but doing these things on your own. Because in the end, ladies, you have you. You know, from birth to death, it's you. We know that, and that's a fact, right? Okay, ladies, so number 2. Ladies, go to new places. This kind of aligns with what I was talking about, but I mean, like, go outside of where you used to go. Now, like I said, I used to be at all the little ratchet spots, all the hole in the walls, you all, and I'm from Baltimore, right? So I just knew like the very negative outlook on Baltimore. Sad to say, as many years as I lived in Baltimore, there are some really beautiful places in Baltimore that I did not know about, that I had not been to and I had not seen. You all, have spent like the last 2 summers, I want to say, what is this, 2022, 21? So last summer, like last year, once we came back out, really going to some of these more beautiful places. And, you know, looking around at them and seeing them and going to like beautiful areas and doing walks in beautiful places and looking at all the scenery. I did not know that we had all of this beautiful landscape in here. I did not know that we had I just did not know that all of this beauty exists in Baltimore, because if you know about Baltimore, you always hear about the negative parts of Baltimore. But that's all I knew. That's what I was rooted in. That's what I saw. I did not know anything else, which did not diversify my experiences, right? It didn't broaden my horizon, honey. It was very damper, and all I knew was all of the negativity that Baltimore had to offer, right? And that was just so sad, you all, because there's really a lot of beauty in Baltimore. Like, it's like a whole new world. Like, sis, it's like a whole new world. It's so beautiful. Not only that, because I have a daughter, I don't want her growing up thinking that the only thing that Baltimore has to offer is a bunch of negativity, a bunch of crime, a bunch of killings, and that's just not it, right? So I started getting her out and taking her to these places as well. Now, when she was a child, of course, I would take her to little spots that we know about, the zoo, the aquarium, if there's an activity going on, but there's just so much more that's offered in Baltimore. So because I got out and I started to go to new places, you all, my outlook shifted entirely on the place that I live, right? So ladies, go to some new places. Go to some new places right in the area where you live. If you were like me, I really want to challenge you to go to some new places in where you live at. Look it up. Look up beautiful places to visit in wherever you live. You know, I like art museums, you all. I did not used to go to art museums before, honey, because sis would have needed to pregame. She would have to stop at the bar. She would have been in there loud, knocking stuff over. It was just not the place for me. Although I loved artwork, but I just wasn't there yet, right? So I love going to different art museums, and I did not even know that we had so many beautiful art museums here. And I did not know that they literally are like free or like $5. I think the most I've paid is like $15 for a huge art museum that I still haven't even been able to get through. Like, very huge. And when I go to these places, it's not like when I used to sit up at the bar and I'm asking for drinks. Like, I didn't ask for all the drinks. I know all the drinks. I've been drunk as I don't know what, right? I'm going into these art museums and I'm taking in all this artwork. It's just different. Like I'm living through the art. Like, it's just so beautiful. It's just so different, right? And when you know more, you do more, you're open to more, your life goes up another level. So go to some new places, ladies. Number 3. Now, number 3, you all, is going to be honest with yourself about the ways that you need to change. You all, Heal Thy Homegirl Child, it's all about calling you out. It's all about having you see yourself, right? So number 3 on the list, and I would say most important, is be honest with yourself about the way you need to change. Because if I could be honest with myself about the way that I need to change, about the places that I continue to go to, about the activities that I'm always doing, about the things that are not fulfilling to me and that I want to spread my wings, then I can go to the next level. So take inventory on yourself, you all. I'm always going to encourage you to have conversations with yourself. Make a checklist. Like, really get to know you, homegirl. Really, really get to know you, right? So I want you to be honest with yourself. In what ways can I change? Because when I'm honest with myself about what ways I can change, and then I make a plan and I stick to it, I take my life to the next level, right? So in what ways do I eat in ways that, it's just not serving me, right? What am I drinking that is not serving me? What do I listen to that is not serving me? If I want to take my life to the next level as far as, let me see, like baking. I love baking, but I'm really not that good of a baker. Well, what can I do? I need to hold myself accountable. I need to take in more content around baking. I can listen to podcasts. I need to look at magazines. I can look at it on TV. I can go out to bakeries. Maybe I can look and see if they have any baking classes, right? Because the more that I immerse myself in the experience of what I want to become, the more that I will level up and become that thing. So hold yourself accountable on where you want to be, where you are not to beat yourself up, not to shame yourself, and not to sit up there and beat yourself down, right? But to hold yourself accountable, because we cannot change, or we cannot arrive at a place that we already are, right? If you call me and you like, Rachel, I'm at the mall, where you at? And I'm like, girl, I'm at the mall, but I'm really in a bed, changing the channels, rubbing my toes together. How will I ever get to the mall? In my mind, I'm already at the mall, right? But I'm really in the bed. And that's what it is for a lot of us. A lot of us are telling ourselves that we're somewhere where we're really not, and we won't ever be able to get there because we're not being honest and holding ourselves accountable with what it is that we're doing, what it is that we're not doing, what it is that we need to do, what are the ways that we get in our way so we cannot be there, right? So hold yourself accountable. And girly, if you hold yourself accountable, if you create a plan, be gentle with yourself, right? We don't want to hold ourselves accountable for 10 things today. We can take one little area. Like I said, if I want to be a baker, I can take that one area and I can work on it. And then when I see that I'm working up and I'm rising on that, it really gives life to what I'm going to do next. Because it's like, damn, look at me. I'm baking now. Like, I'm a baker. Like, before I was just baking. Now I'm a baker. Like, look at me. I know that I can do anything I want to do. So when I go to do the next thing, it'll be easier. Yes, I'm going to come up against that fight with myself because this is new. But I know that I accomplished it here, so I'll be able to do it there. But I won't be able to do any of that if I don't hold myself accountable and point out the things that I need to work on so that I can change and take my life to the next level. So, lady, there was 3 ways that you can most definitely level up. And I promise you, if you apply them, they'll work. Don't just listen to this video. Actually apply it to your life. I hope you have your notepad out. Take your notes. I'm holding you accountable. I want you to hold yourself accountable. Ladies, if you want to reach me on Instagram, you can find me at heal_thou_homegirl. And you can always find me on my website at healthouhomegirl.net, where I have coaching services. Book your consult. It's time for you to change your life. It's time to level up. It's time for you to become the woman that you know you can become. See you all in the next video, ladies.